A new program helps prevent catalytic converter thefts.
And an old pocket park gets some tender, loving care.
City crews practice on keeping Tacoma roads clear.
These stories and more up next on Tacoma Report.
Hi, I'm Laura Proctor.
And I'm Angie Foster. Catalytic converter thefts are on the rise in the U.S. The Tacoma Police Department is taking an innovative approach with Project CATCON ID, a partnership with Titus Will Toyota and Simmons Automotive. Project CATCON ID's goal is etching vehicle identification numbers into the car's catalytic converter. This is designed to pair the part with the vehicle if stolen and recovered. Almost 300 car owners took part in the voluntary program at the two businesses in mid-November. Project CATCON ID is a law enforcement initiative supported by the National Insurance Criminal Bureau and is designed to reduce and ultimately eliminate catalytic converter theft. As 2022 comes to a close, this year will mark a high of homicides and violence in Tacoma. Not the record anyone wants to set, which is why the city continues investing in community programs and services to reduce violence among Tacoma's youth ages 12 to 17 and young adults ages 18 to 24. These programs have expanded services to reach people up to age 30, with a focus on providing services for addressing human trafficking and domestic violence, providing mentorship programs and mental health services in the community, and partnerships in schools. The city's investment is part of a building of a foundation for youth and young adults to be safe and healthy. Yet violence is not only occurring in these communities, which is why this work must also align with the efforts undertaken by Tacoma Police Department. For more information about all of these efforts, visit the city's web pages.
Winter weather can be unpredictable. That's why crews with the city's Street Operations Division are preparing now for possible storms on the horizon. Stacy Ellifrit has more.
When snow is forecasted, city crews set a plan in motion to deploy a snow fleet across Tacoma and continue operation throughout a storm event. But before that can happen, crews train on rigging and operation of this equipment.
This is the City of Tacoma's annual snow and ice training. It's a 2-day training where all 70 employees get together. We go through the snow plan and we show that to staff. We train them on it. We train them on the equipment.
About 15% of the crew is brand new, and this training offers an opportunity for experienced drivers to share their knowledge as well, getting everyone up to speed to go into operation during any future snowstorm event.
When we go into full operations, we're going to be operating about 21 vehicles, and then we're also going to have 6 to 7 fleet personnel on staff. And when we're operating 24/7, we're operating with about 74 Public Works employees working together in 2 shifts to go out and maintain the roadways, plow the snow.
Streets are plowed and de-iced on a priority level, with crews working to clear 1 lane of traffic in each direction.
The City of Tacoma has an inclement weather page. We do post our snow routes out there. The map has priority routes on it, primary, secondary, and auxiliary routes. That is how we deliver service. We'll plow the primaries first, then the secondaries, then auxiliary. Generally, a primary route are your heaviest arterials, the ones that carry the most traffic. So in Tacoma, we're talking about a 6th Avenue, a Pacific, a 72nd. And then our secondaries are the next heaviest arterials that carry the next amount of traffic. They generally all have transit routes on them, because that's one thing too.
During a storm, residents are encouraged to take public transportation if possible. Pierce Transit and the city work together to make sure transit routes are ready. There are also other tips for drivers to remember when preparing for winter weather.
You should go to the inclement weather page, find the map. You should prepare yourself the night before. If you need to chain up because you have a long ways to go, do so. Get those safety items, blankets, flashlight, charger, and prepare yourself and prepare your route to the nearest primary, secondary route out of your neighborhood. And then once there, you should be able to traverse very easily throughout the city during a snowstorm.
For Tacoma Report, I'm Stacy Ellifrit.
Visit the city's inclement weather page at cityoftacoma.org/inclement weather for more tips on winter weather preparedness and to view the updated snow routes map.
The City of Tacoma owns property in 5 counties. The properties are used to conduct city business. On rare occasions, the city identifies a property that is no longer needed for public service or necessity. When this happens, both the City of Tacoma and Tacoma Public Utilities has a policy for surplusing real property. The city has 3 established processes for disposing of city-owned real property: direct negotiated disposition, request for proposal process, or a bid sale to the highest bidder. The process that is used is determined by several factors. To learn more about the process or to see what property the city has surplus currently, visit the webpage.
A new shelter site unlike any currently operating opened in Tacoma on November 15th. The site at 35th and Pacific Avenue is a mitigation site operated by Tacoma Rescue Mission in partnership with the City of Tacoma. The new site will serve up to 50 people and is considered a low barrier site, something advocates have been calling for. It will have a curfew and quiet hours starting at 10 p.m. Residents will each have a tent site and showers. A kitchen and restroom facilities will be on site. For more information, visit the city's webpage. When we return, first responders help their own with a new documentary.
We'll be back with an interview on how this will help others. Stay tuned. The Call We Carry is a documentary produced by the Tacoma Fire Department on what many firefighters face throughout their careers. Here's a clip of the video.
Just over 34 years, I've seen a lot of things. We only investigate major fires. Fatalities or high dollar loss or arson, criminal in nature.
Serial arsonist in Tacoma.
Increases in assaults, robberies, and arson.
Every call, there's some level of trauma.
It's rewarding work, but it's not good work.
The screams and the smells.
We lived through that over and over again. That's continued repetitive trauma.
Firefighters, if we're good at anything, I can wear a smile when I'm at work and do my job, but I also was going to kill myself.
Over 37% of first responders meet clinical diagnosis for PTSD. That's astounding.
You're not just a firefighter. You're a dad, a mom, a brother, a sister.
The sheer volume of things that you see, they're going to have an effect. They're going to take a toll.
Not felt like there was some sort of a stigma attached to it.
The fear of appearing weak.
You got a front row seat to human tragedy.
Self-care is not an option in this line of work. It has to be this way.
When we're outnumbered in the line of duty deaths, is when we really need to start opening people's eyes and going, what are we going to do about this?
Chief, why is it important to you that people know and understand the realities and challenges that firefighters face?
The goal of this film was to bring to light, an issue that has been going on in the fire service and amongst public safety responders forever. And I think that the only way we truly begin to address that is by talking about it, is by bringing it out, bringing it to the surface, giving people an opportunity to see that they're, one, not alone, and two, that, the only way that they get better is by having a conversation about it, about reaching out and getting professional or supportive help.
Cody, besides being a firefighter, you do videography as a hobby, and you produce this documentary. It's clear that you put a lot of thought and heart into this. Working in the background over time, did the initial concept or vision you had for this documentary change?
Substantially, yes.
How?
It was initially supposed to be a short, 5 to 7 minute video highlighting our services within our department, our peer support team and resources available to our members. And it all kind of started very organically, and that's how it came to be. We started talking to people, and then their stories compelled all of us that listened to them, and it was very apparent early on that we had a little more than 5 to 7 minutes of material that needed to be shown.
When it was all said and done, was there anything that surprised you?
I think the honesty and the vulnerability that some of our members displayed on camera surprised me. Firefighters, we put up a wall and we put on that persona to appear strong and get our jobs done, and I figured that would carry on camera, but it was more of an organic, friendly conversation.
Now, you grew up in a fire family. Both your parents retired as firefighters, and I know you've had your fair share of trauma in your own experience. How does trauma build up over time?
I think it builds up over time due to accumulation. The things that we see, we carry with us, and it doesn't matter if it's something that we saw when we first came on the job, 5, 20, 30 years ago. Those things still can accumulate and build on to one another.
And working in emergency response today, is there still some stigma attached to asking for help?
Yeah, I think we are hopeful that this conversation and this effort are starting to move us in the right direction. But absolutely, I think people are. We have decades, a century of tradition of not talking about it, of being tough, and of defining ourselves as not being impacted or affected by the work that we do. And I think that that's going to take a while to move that and change that culture.
And Chief, how are you proactive with that? What kind of available resources are out there for firefighters facing this?
Yeah, I think it starts with, first of all, creating a culture within the organization that says that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be strong or impervious to the reality of being human, and that all of us should be impacted by the things that we see. That means you care. And so I think that it starts with making sure that people recognize and hear that from me, quite frankly. And then we provide professional services for folks. We have a chaplaincy who is always available for us, and quite frankly contracted on staff. We have a mental health provider so that people who need that kind of help can reach out. And then of course we have the amazing benefits through the city. And then of course there are organizations nationally that people can reach out to that are specific to first responders.
And what is the hope for other emergency response agencies to gain out of this documentary?
I hope that other organizations will look at their culture and really reflect on how open they are to making it okay for people to say, I'm not okay. And then providing and directing people to the appropriate resources for assistance.
Well, thank you, Chief and Cody, for taking time out of your busy schedule to share a message of hope that no one has to suffer in silence. They don't have to be alone, and it is possible for them to get their happy back, to get their life back. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, we have some news on a pocket park and how it's about to get upgraded. Stay with us.
Staff from the City of Tacoma, City of University Place, and City of Lakewood are hosting a virtual public meeting to share more about the Orchard Street, Lakewood Drive Corridor Design Project. This partnership project includes roadway and pedestrian improvements along this corridor. Attendees can provide feedback to help guide key elements of the project design. The public meeting will be held via Zoom on Thursday, December 15th at noon. To register for the event or to submit a question beforehand, visit cityoftacoma.org/Orchard Street.
Tacoma's South End neighborhood will soon see a community facelift with improvements to Gas Station Park. The Pocket Park is one of Tacoma's teeniest parks at about 1/5 of an acre in size. Metro Parks Tacoma recently broke ground on improvements including a tree-filled community play space with upgrades on contemporary playground equipment. Park design also features a new tricycle track. These improvements to Gas Station Park are targeted for completion by summer of 2023.
The City of Tacoma administrative offices will close Monday, December 26th in observance of Christmas Day and Monday, January 2nd in observance of New Year's Day. Offices will reopen the following Tuesdays of each holiday. The Tacoma Recovery and Transfer Center will close on Christmas and New Year's Day. If your trash pickup day falls on or after one of these holidays, collection will be one day later during those weeks. For additional transfer station information, check out tacomarecycles.org/collection calendar.
Making its way to customers' homes this December is the Environmental Services quarterly newsletter, EnviroTalk. A sneak peek of this winter edition is available to view online now. This issue focuses on the Tacoma Recycle Center and shares tips on pruning blueberry bushes. There is also a yummy recipe for garlic butter asparagus and a feature that covers the ins and outs of the urban forestry program. Visit the EnviroTalk webpage to view this edition and more online today.
That wraps up this edition of Tacoma Report.
A great way to find out about the services the City of Tacoma has to offer is by going to cityoftacoma.org.
We take a deep dive with two of the newest members of the Point Defiant Zoo and Aquarium, walruses Belzac and Lakina.
Our two new aquatic friends bring the total number of walruses in human care in the U.S. to just 14. Until next time, I'm Angie Foster.
And I'm Laura Proctor. Thanks for watching.